Did you know your legs are the first to show the signs of aging? Maybe you hadn't thought about it, but if lately it's hard to get up from the couch, climb stairs, or keep your balance, you're not alone. That feeling of weakness, of your legs not responding the way they used to, is one of the most common signals that the body is changing. And many times, that change starts from the bottom up. Your legs don't just hold you up, they also connect you with your freedom. They're what take you to the market, to see your grandchildren, to catch a little sun in the square. That's why, when they start to falter, it's not just the body that hurts. It also affects the mind, your mood, and your independence. But here's what matters. You can act in time. In this video, I'm going to show you 4 simple but powerful remedies that can help you keep your legs strong, agile, and healthy, even after 60, 70, or 80 years. And no, you don't need a gym or to spend money on complicated treatments. What you'll discover today is based on natural, accessible habits that, above all, have been proven by many older adults who, like you, want to live better, not just longer. So if you also want to keep walking with confidence, climb a staircase without fear, or simply get out of bed every morning without pain, stay until the end. What you learn can make a big difference in your day-to-day life. By the way, I'd love to know how old you are and which country or city you're watching from. Tell me in the comments, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to receive more practical tips on health, well-being, and a full life in later years. Now then, let's begin. Why legs age first? The first thing you need to know is that aging doesn't happen uniformly throughout the body. Some areas begin to deteriorate before others. And yes, although it may sound surprising, legs are often the first to show the effects of time. Why does this happen? There are several reasons, all related to how our body works over the years. First, let's talk about circulation. With age, the circulatory system becomes less efficient. Arteries stiffen, blood flows more slowly, and it reaches muscles with less oxygen and fewer nutrients. This especially affects the lower limbs, because they're farther from the heart and must fight gravity to receive blood. The result is that the leg muscles begin to weaken faster than the rest of the body. Then there's the impact of gravity. Every day we live bearing our own weight. Legs are in charge of supporting us, moving us, propelling us forward. For decades, they've done that silent work without getting much attention. But that constant effort, year after year, takes a toll. The knee and hip joints wear down, muscles tense less, and tendons lose elasticity. And finally, there's something few people know. Starting around 50 years of age, we naturally begin to lose muscle mass. This process is called sarcopenia. In some cases, it can cause a person to lose up to 10% of their strength per decade if they don't do anything to prevent it. And of course, the legs, which contain large muscle groups, are the first to show that loss. Think of Joseph. He is 75 years old. He was always active. He liked walking outdoors, doing small repairs at home, tending his plants. But in recent years, he noticed something different. He started to feel unsure on stairs. His legs trembled a bit when rising from a low chair. He tired easily and preferred to avoid certain movements he once did without thinking. Joseph didn't understand what was happening. He went to the doctor, and his tests came back fine. No heart problems, no diabetes, nothing worrisome. But his body was speaking in another way, with weakness, slowness, and clumsiness. Here's the truth. If you don't strengthen what is weakening, aging advances faster. If we let inactivity gain ground, the body enters a dangerous cycle. You do less because you feel weak, and because you do less, you become even weaker. The good news is that this can be prevented and even reversed. But to do that, you first have to understand what's going on. It's not that your legs are failing you. It's that they're asking for attention. They're saying, I need you to take care of me. I need you to move me. I need you to feed me well. Now that you know why legs age earlier, you're in a better position to do something about it. And that's exactly what we're going to look at from here on out. Remedy 1. Strength and endurance exercises for the legs. If there's one thing that can make the difference between keeping your independence or depending on others in old age, It's leg strength. And we're not talking about being an athlete. We're talking about something much simpler and deeper. Being able to get up without help, walk safely, and climb a step without fear of falling. Why strengthen the legs? Because with each passing year, your muscles lose volume, power, and reaction capacity. If that loss isn't fought, it ends up affecting your posture, your balance, and even your mental health. And it's not just a physical matter. When you feel you can't move easily, frustration, insecurity, and often sadness appear. That's why movement isn't just medicine for the body, it's also medicine for the soul. Let me tell you Mary's story. Mary is 68 years old. After hip surgery, she spent more than a month without walking. When she came home, she noticed her legs were weak and shaky. At first, she thought it was normal, but days passed and she stayed the same. She began to avoid moving. She felt clumsy, insecure. Until one day, when trying to get up from the couch, she fell to the floor. That moment changed everything. That's when she decided to do something different. With the help of a physical therapist, she began a simple leg-strengthening routine. Nothing complicated, nothing extreme, just exercises adapted to her pace and her body. And you know what happened? In just 3 months, Mary was walking confidently again. She went upstairs without holding the handrail, and most importantly, she regained confidence in herself. What exactly did Mary do? Here's her basic routine, which you can also adapt to your level. First, assisted squats. Don't be scared by the name. You just need a chair. Sit down and stand up slowly, using your legs, not your arms. Do it 5 times. Rest. Then repeat. Little by little, you can increase the amount. This exercise activates the largest muscles in your legs. Second, heel raises. Standing, hold onto a wall or chair to keep your balance. Lift your heels until you're on tiptoe. Hold for a few seconds and go down slowly. Do it 10 times. This strengthens your calves and improves walking stability. Third, walks with light weight. Go out walking with small water bottles in your hands or light ankle weights. You don't need much. A bit of resistance stimulates strength and improves coordination. Start with 10 minutes a day and increase at your own pace. These exercises, done consistently, can change your life. Now, a few precautions. Never exercise in pain. If something hurts, stop and consult a professional. Don't chase quick results. Change is gradual, but it comes. Listen to your body. Rest if you need to. Don't push yourself beyond your limits. What matters is starting. Even if it's with just one exercise. Even if it's for 5 minutes. The essential thing is to send your body a signal that you're still here, willing to move, to care for yourself, to strengthen what still holds you up. And remember, your legs haven't failed you. They're just waiting for you to activate them. Remedy 2, anti-inflammatory, nourishing eating for muscles. Your muscles don't only get stronger with movement, they also need food. And I don't just mean eating more, I mean eating better. As we age, the body needs more nutritional support to maintain muscle mass, fight inflammation, and avoid fatigue. If your legs are weak, stiff, or cramp frequently, your diet may have a lot to do with it. The 3 essential pillars that help your muscles stay healthy are quality protein, natural antioxidants, and healthy fats. First, let's talk about protein. Muscles are made mostly of protein, and with age, the body absorbs it less efficiently. That's why it's important to have protein at every meal of the day, not just lunch. You can get good protein from foods like eggs, lentils, chickpeas, plain yogurt, tofu, or chicken. But one of the most beneficial for older adults is oily fish, like salmon, sardines, or tuna. They don't just provide protein, they also contain healthy fats that reduce inflammation and improve circulation. Here comes the second pillar, antioxidants. These natural compounds help combat cellular damage caused by age, and some foods are full of them. Leafy greens like spinach, Swiss chard, or kale are rich in antioxidants, as well as magnesium, calcium, and iron, which help reduce muscle fatigue. And lastly, healthy fats. Yes, fats, but not just any. I mean the ones that protect your joints and favor nutrient absorption. They're found in nuts like walnuts, almonds, and hazelnuts, and in extra virgin olive oil. Just a handful of walnuts a day can make a difference in your energy and well-being. Now I want to tell you about Peter. Peter is 72 years old. He was always slim and active, but lately he noticed something strange. When walking, his legs felt heavy. At night, he suffered cramps, and it became harder and harder to stand for a long time. He thought it was just age, but his grandson, who was studying nutrition, suggested something very simple: adjust his diet. They started by removing cold cuts, sugars, and fried foods that only inflamed his body. Then they added more fish, spinach sautéed in olive oil, plain yogurt with seeds, and a daily handful of nuts. He also started drinking more water, since cramps are often a symptom of dehydration. The result? In less than 6 weeks, Peter began sleeping better, moving with more energy, and the cramps almost disappeared. It wasn't magic. It was real food. It was giving his body what it had been asking for all along. Here are some practical tips you can apply starting today. Add at least 1 leafy green vegetable to your lunch and dinner. Include oily fish at least 2 times per week. Eat a small portion of natural nuts every day. Avoid ultra-processed foods with added salt or sugars. Drink enough water, even if you don't feel thirsty. Remember that good eating isn't a strict diet or a punishment. It's an act of love toward your body. It's giving it what it needs to support you, to move freely, to live with dignity. You decide what goes on your plate, and that in large part decides how your legs feel. Remedy 3. Improving circulation through massage and elevation. Your legs don't only need strength and good nutrients, they also need blood to flow properly. Poor circulation can cause subtle discomfort at first, but over time, it becomes a real obstacle to moving freely. Has it ever happened that at the end of the day, your legs feel swollen, heavy, as if you were carrying sandbags tied to your ankles? Or maybe you notice your feet are cold even in summer. These are clear signs that circulation isn't working as it should. With the years, the walls of the veins lose elasticity. Blood, which normally travels back up to the heart, begins to pool in the legs. This causes swelling, cramps, a burning sensation, and even varicose veins. Gravity works against you. And if we also spend many hours sitting or standing without moving, the problem gets worse. But here's the positive. There are very simple remedies you can apply at home to improve your circulation without medication or invasive treatments. First, upward massage. This technique consists of gently massaging from the ankles upward toward the heart. You can use your hands with a bit of moisturizer or warm olive oil. Do it with circular, gentle movements without pressing too hard. The goal is to stimulate blood flow and relax the muscles. Spend 5 minutes per leg. If you can do it every morning or every night before bed, you'll notice the difference in a few days. Second, elevate your legs during the day. This simple habit helps counteract gravity. You just need to lie on your back and rest your legs on a pillow or up against the wall, forming an angle of about 45 degrees. Hold the position between 10 and 15 minutes. Do it at least once a day. You'll feel immediate relief. This small rest for your legs allows the blood pooled in the ankles and feet to return more easily to the heart, reducing swelling and fatigue. Third, consider using compression stockings. These special stockings are designed to apply gentle pressure from the ankles upward, which helps keep blood moving. They aren't uncomfortable or unattractive like they used to be. Nowadays, there are soft, discreet, easy-to-use versions. You can start wearing them for a few hours a day, especially if you'll be sitting or standing for a long time. If you have doubts, consult a doctor or pharmacist to choose the right type and size. Let me tell you about Anna. Anna is 79 years old. She was always an active woman, but lately her legs were changing. At the end of the day, she felt swelling and heaviness, and sometimes even tingling in her feet. She struggled to sleep and thought it was a natural part of aging. One day, chatting with her walking group, a friend recommended 3 simple things: daily massage, elevating her legs before sleeping, and wearing compression stockings in the afternoons. Anna tried it. In less than 2 weeks, her swelling went down. She started sleeping better, And when walking, she no longer felt that constant weight in her feet. Anna didn't change her life completely. She just incorporated small habits with consistency, and her body rewarded her with relief. Here are step-by-step recommendations so you can start too. Spend 5 to 10 minutes a day massaging your legs, always in an upward direction. Elevate your legs at least once a day, especially if you've spent a long time sitting. If you suffer from chronic swelling or fatigue, wear compression stockings for a couple of hours daily. If you can, walk at least 20 minutes a day to stimulate venous return. Remember, it's not about making big changes overnight. It's about small actions that, repeated daily, can transform your health. Remedy 4. Flexibility and balance with stretches and balance exercises. We've reached the fourth and final remedy, and although many people skip it, it can be the one that makes the biggest difference between an active life and a life limited by fear. Let's talk about flexibility and balance. With age, the body gets stiffer, muscles shorten, joints lose mobility, and that affects something very important: your ability to maintain balance. And when that ability decreases, stumbles and falls appear, and in many cases, fractures. Every year, millions of older adults suffer falls that could have been prevented. The saddest part is that many never walk the same again after a hip fracture or a hard fall. It's not just a physical wound. It's a blow to confidence, autonomy, freedom. That's why maintaining flexibility and balance isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And you don't need to become a contortionist or an athlete. A few gentle exercises adapted to your body are enough, and you can do them safely at home. Let's start with hamstring stretches. These muscles on the back of the thigh often become tight with age. When that happens, walking becomes uncomfortable and more prone to stumbles. You can do a very simple stretch. Sit on a firm chair, extend one leg forward with the heel on the floor and the toes pointing up. Gently lean toward that leg until you feel a mild pull along the back of the thigh. Hold for about 15 seconds and repeat with the other leg. Do it twice per leg, every day. Gentle yoga can also help a lot. There are specific classes for older adults that use adapted postures without physical strain. Yoga doesn't just stretch the muscles, it also improves breathing, concentration, and the body-mind connection. Many people report feeling more stable, relaxed, and centered after just 1 month of practice. Another excellent option is Tai Chi. This centuries-old Chinese art combines slow, controlled, mindful movements. It doesn't require strength or advanced flexibility, just attention and consistency. It's scientifically proven to improve balance and reduce fall risk in older adults. And the best part is you can practice it at home, in the park, or even from a chair. Let me tell you John's story. John is 80 years old. He was always very active, but after the pandemic he spent a long time indoors. Over time he began to feel clumsy when walking. Once he tripped on a rug and fell backward. He didn't fracture anything, but the fright was enormous. After that day, he stopped going out alone. He avoided stairs and began to walk holding onto the walls. He wasn't the same as before. His daughter, worried, proposed a small challenge. Do 15 minutes of balance exercises together every day. They started with gentle stretches, then practiced standing on one foot while holding a chair, and later discovered Tai Chi. After 2 months, John was already walking more confidently. He went back to the market without fear, and most importantly, he regained his independence and his confidence. You can achieve it too. Here are some practical and safe recommendations to start. Do gentle stretches every morning or before bed. Practice balance exercises such as standing on one foot, always near a chair or wall for safety. If you can, try a gentle yoga or Tai Chi class for older adults, either in person or online. Do these activities 3 to 5 times a week. The key is consistency, not intensity. And remember, don't push yourself. If a movement hurts, stop. If you feel unsafe, do it seated or with company. Your body can still surprise you. Sometimes it just needs you to give it a new chance to move more freely, more mindfully, and more safely. How to combine and maintain the 4 remedies. Now that you know the 4 key remedies to strengthen your legs, strength exercise, healthy eating, improved circulation, and flexibility work, you might be wondering, where do I start? The answer is simple. Start with what's possible for you today, and little by little you'll add the rest. It's not about doing everything perfectly, but about doing the best you can with what you have from where you are. Here's a simple weekly schedule example designed for older adults who want to keep their legs strong without feeling overwhelmed. Monday, strength exercise, chair squats plus heel raises. Protein-rich meal, oily fish plus green vegetables. Leg massage at night. Tuesday, gentle 20-minute walk. Leg elevation at the end of the day. Gentle stretches before bed. Wednesday, strength plus balance, holding onto a chair. Lunch with nuts and legumes. Upward leg massage. Thursday, rest day from exercise, but with good hydration and antioxidant-rich eating. Yoga or Tai Chi, guided video from home or group class. Friday, short walk with light weight, bottles in the hands. Leg elevation plus massage, light dinner with healthy fats. Saturday, repeat favorite exercises, could be stretches and squats. Active rest time, gentle tasks such as gardening or light cleaning. Sunday, day off or deep rest, reflection and evaluation. How did you feel this week? What will you do differently next time? You don't have to follow it to the letter. This schedule is just a base for you to build your own routine. The important thing is to avoid spending the entire week immobile or every day overloaded. Now then, how can you stay motivated over time? Here are some tips that have worked for many people. 1. Put on music. Doing exercises to a song you like completely changes the experience. Your body loosens up, your mood lifts, and time goes by faster. 2. Find a partner. It could be your spouse, a neighbor, a grandchild, or a friend. It not only motivates you, it also strengthens your commitment. Walking together, stretching in a group, or sharing healthy recipes creates a support network that feels good. 3. Set small, visible goals. You don't need to promise that in 3 months you'll be running. Better to start with daily goals, getting up without pain, walking 10 minutes, preparing a healthy salad. Every achievement, no matter how small, is a victory. 4. Celebrate progress. Write down what you accomplish each week. You'll notice how your energy, mobility, and mood improve. That's fuel to keep going. Now, if you have reduced mobility, don't worry. All the remedies we mentioned can be adapted. Squats can be slower and assisted. Massage can be done seated, with a roller, or even with a towel. Healthy eating requires no physical effort, just small decisions. And stretching exercises can be done from a chair, using the backrest for support. The key is to do something, not everything. Because every movement, every act of care is a message to your body that says, I'm still here, I can still improve. Don't underestimate the power of consistency. What you do today, even if it's little, will have a cumulative effect over time. And when you look back, you'll realize those small actions were the start of a big change. Warning signs. When to consult a doctor. So far, we've talked about remedies and healthy habits you can incorporate into your life to strengthen your legs and maintain mobility. But it's also important to know when you need the help of a health professional. Because no matter how much you exercise, eat well, and care for your body, there are times when what you do at home isn't enough. Recognizing those signals in time can prevent bigger problems. Let's start with one of the most common: persistent leg pain. If pain appears every time you walk a block, climb a stair, or even at rest, and it doesn't improve with rest or gentle stretching, then your body is telling you something important. It could be circulatory, nerve, or muscle issues that require medical evaluation. Another warning sign is frequent cramps, especially if they happen at night or with slight movement. If you wake up startled by an intense cramp, or if you suffer them daily, that could be a sign of a mineral imbalance in your body, like potassium or magnesium, or of poor circulation. It's also key to watch for any changes in the skin of your legs. If you notice redness, dark patches, extreme dryness, wounds that don't heal, or even warmth to the touch, it's essential to check it out. These changes can be symptoms of inflammation, infection, or vein problems. And of course, we can't forget chronic swelling. If your ankles, feet, or calves swell every afternoon, or if you notice that when you press the skin it stays indented for several seconds, that could indicate fluid retention, heart problems, or lymphatic system issues. Let me tell you about Rose. Rose is 77 years old. For months, she noticed her feet swelling in the afternoon. She thought it was normal. She also began to feel a stabbing pain in one calf, but she ignored it. She told herself it was just tiredness. She used massage, put her legs up, and kept going with her routine. Until one day, while walking to the store, her leg gave way and she fell. She was taken to the hospital, where they discovered she had deep vein thrombosis. The diagnosis was serious, but fortunately, it was in time. With proper treatment, Rose recovered. But the most important thing was what she learned. Ignoring your body's signals can be dangerous. We don't want you to live in fear, but we do want you to live with awareness. Everything we've shared so far, the exercises, eating, massage, stretches, is designed to help you live better. But they don't replace medical care. They're a complement, not a substitute. Real strength lies in knowing when to act on your own and when to seek help. If you notice any of these signals, persistent or stabbing pain in one leg, asymmetric swelling, frequent intense cramps, visible skin changes, a constant sensation of heat or burning, difficulty walking without pain, please don't ignore it. Make an appointment with a trusted doctor. The sooner a problem is detected, the easier it is to solve. Taking care of yourself doesn't mean doing everything alone. It also means knowing how to ask for help in time. Now you know. Your legs aren't just a set of muscles, bones, and tendons. They're the base of your independence. They've supported you for decades. They've taken you to work, to care for your family, along streets, sidewalks, and paths that are part of your story. And yes, with the years they begin to age. But that doesn't mean they must stop working. It means they now need a little more of your attention and care. Today you learned there are 4 essential remedies to care for your legs and keep them strong. First, strength and endurance exercise, which activates the muscles and keeps your body steady. Second, anti-inflammatory, nutrient-rich eating, which nourishes your legs from within and gives them the energy to move freely. Third, circulation care, with gentle massage, leg elevation, and daily habits that ease heaviness and fatigue. And fourth, flexibility and balance work, which protects you from falls, gives you confidence when walking, and maintains your autonomy. At first you may feel it's a lot. That changing habits isn't so easy, but you're not alone. Thousands of people like you in different parts of the world are making small changes and seeing big results. Remember, you don't need to do everything at once. Just start with something. Maybe today you decide to try a simple stretch, or give yourself a massage before bed, or add some nuts and greens to your lunch. What matters is moving, acting, caring with intention. Because as long as your legs stay strong, your freedom stays alive. And now I invite you to do one more thing. Write in the comments which of these remedies you're going to implement first. I'm very interested to know how old you are and which city or country you're watching from. And if you want to share, tell me what mobility difficulty you've faced lately. Maybe someone will read your story and feel less alone. And if this video helped you, share it with the person you know needs it. A friend, a mother, an uncle, a neighbor. Sometimes a small piece of information can change an entire life. Thank you for staying with me to the end. You deserve to walk with strength, live with dignity, and feel free every day. See you in the next video, where we'll keep learning together how to live better at any age.